Welcome back to Master Your Glass with me, Livio, Lauro. Today we are going to talk about Mezcal, a category of spirits that I have admittedly not spoken enough about on this show. So today we're going to learn about it. We're going to taste 6 different types, and I'm also going to show you how to make a cocktail. But what are we waiting for? Let's get into this. I'm really excited to talk to you about Mezcal today on this video. Mezcal is a distilled spirit that has gone through an incredible increase in popularity just in the past 15-20 years. It used to be that spirit that was relegated to the bottom shelf, way in the back of the liquor store or even of the bar. And in just a handful of years, it has become a protagonist, a very popular spirit, recognized for being handcrafted from a beautiful country that takes so much pride in what it makes. What exactly is mezcal? It's a distilled spirit made from the agave plant. What exactly is the agave? The agave is a succulent, sometimes looks like a cactus. It is native to Mexico and also to some parts of Texas, but of course, for the Mexican government, only the Mexican agaves are used to make mezcal. Now, what does mezcal mean? Mezcal means cooked agave. And because of that, other agave-based spirits such as tequila or sotol would also actually fall into the mezcal category. When you think of mezcal, think something like brandy, which is a broad term for spirits made from fruits. Or think of maybe whiskey, which is a broad term for a spirit made from grain. Mezcal is that broad term for spirits that are made from the agave plant. How on earth did mezcal become so popular? Well, of course, a lot of cool things happened, but I think there's one person that we should really thank, and that is a gentleman by the name of Ron Cooper. Ron is an artist and, of course, a mezcal aficionado, lover, and now importer as well. And he went to Mexico, traveled, and went to various different producers, farms that were making artisanal, beautiful little products, and was actually able to get them to bottle these products and bring them to us in America and across the world. So today, I'm going to taste 6 different expressions of Del Maguey Mezcal, and I'm really excited. Most producers of mezcal actually like to roast their agave in an underground pit. And what that does is, of course, it adds an element of smoke inside of mezcal. Now, the way I judge a mezcal is by how much smoke is in the glass and how well it's integrated with any of the other flavors that you could find inside of your glass of mezcal, which, by the way, are what? Minerality, fruit, tropical, spices, cinnamon, all of those. You won't find them in every glass of mezcal, but you'll find some of that in mezcal. And the question is how was that actually integrated with the smoke? With that, I'm going to go ahead and try the first mezcal here. This is Vida Mezcal. This is what Del Maguey considers their mixable cocktail style of mezcal. It is made near a riverbed in San Luis del Rio, which is going to probably give it some little tropical notes. Let's go ahead and give this a smell. Immediately I get that smoky ash aroma, a little brine and saltiness. And brine and saltiness isn't easy to find and to add to cocktails, so this is going to be a great addition to a cocktail if I want to add that component to it. I'm going to go ahead and add some water because I don't want to get too drunk on camera, I guess. Stone, minerality, maybe a little earthiness, maybe a little mushroom flavor to it, and then just pops out just a bit, a slight citrus note. I almost feel like this mezcal has the smoke, the mineral, the mushroom, that earthiness, and then just somebody popped in a little citrus or a lemon or a lime into it, which means there's a lot going on, and for what would be considered just a cocktail mezcal, there's actually a lot of sippability in this mezcal as well. So the next one I'm going to taste is wild Tepxtate. This is, of course, made with wild Tepxtate agaves from an area called Santa Maria Alvaradas. Now, by the way, every time I taste this product or this lineup, I always change the order in which I want to taste it. But I'm trying to go from the order of easier drinking to a little smoky down to a little bit more sweet. But like I said, every time I do that, I flip the order. So if you are going to taste these, do it however you wish. The aroma here is way more tropical and a lot of banana notes to it. Oh yeah, there's a little lemon in this one. Definitely more of a creamy lemon citrus to it. But yeah, just a lot of banana, just a very fresh and tropical aroma to it. Let's go ahead and add some water to this. Give it a little quick swirl to mix it together. So nice. So this one here, definitely those tropical notes are popping. A little citrus. Now that lemon is going a little bit into an orange as well. Tropical fruits, a little bit of banana, and the smokiness is there, but it came in at a second moment, and it's kind of now on my palate. But while I'm tasting the smoke, I'm also tasting a hell of a lot of tropical fruits, a lot of banana notes. That is an incredible mezcal right there. So the next one I'm going to taste is the Chichicapa. This one here is made from the village of San Baldassar Chichicapa. I did not mention it in the case of these two, but all three of these are distilled in wood-burning copper pot stills. Let's go ahead and give this a smell and see what's going on. Oh, this one definitely has a little more nuttiness. And the smoke is there, but just a touch, a little more nuttiness. Maybe a little chocolatey aroma to it, but not much more than that. Very clean, looks really, really delicious here. Add a little bit of water, give it a little swirl, and let's give this a taste. Wow, the smokiness now really opened up on this. And there is a little almondy flavor that I'm getting to it. Definitely a ton of citrus, a lot of citrus. So picture something like a citrus lemon with some almond, with a little bit of smoke. Very, very well integrated flavors. And I guess the reason why these products are becoming more and more popular is because of that wide variety of flavor. Say anything you want about mezcal, do not say it's monochromatic. There's just a ton going on. Very, very delicious. My mouth is watering. I truly enjoyed that one. Okay, so the next one I'm going to taste is Minero. This comes from an area called Santa Catarina, Minas. This spirit here is distilled in a pot still that is made of clay, and the tubing of it is made from bamboo. Really what we want to call an artisanal style of a spirit. The aroma on here is also a bit nutty, a bit tropical, but what I'm getting now is some plum, fig notes to it. Yeah, definitely maybe more like a cracked open fig is on my nose right now. I'm going to add a little bit of water to open it up and give it a mix. And let's see what happens. Oh wow, that fig just burst open in my mouth. A hint of smokiness comes at the end, but it's a very briny, salty smokiness to it. So think about getting a fig, opening it up, cracking a little bit of pepper and cracking a little bit of salt on it, and then putting it in your mouth and adding alcohol. This is truly a work of art, and I'm going to take another sip. So amazing, my mouth is watering. Now I'm getting a little bit of orange zest. Such an incredibly and intense, delicious product. Now this here, my friends, is Tobola. This here is distilled in Santa Maria Alboradas, which is a village that is lined up with fruit trees. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a smell. I am already getting that fruit aroma. Maybe a little cinnamon, some baking spices. A touch right at the very, very, very far deep inside of a little almond pastiness. And a gentle salinity on the nose. And let's see what this tastes like. First and foremost, I'm recognizing a freshness on the palate. It's just fresh. It's room temperature. The water that I put in it is room temperature, yet it's coming across as very, very fresh. And of course, that distracted me from what it tastes like. I'm getting chocolate. I'm getting a little bit of coffee notes. Still getting a touch of smoke, but very nice salinity, a little ash, and maybe a little bit of white pepper. This one here, I would recommend. I don't recommend mixing these, honestly, most of these. But this one here, if there were an application, I would love to see it in a dessert style setting where something like coffee, chocolate, bold salinity would work very, very well. So this here is Del Maguey Crema de Mezcal. Before I forget, mezcal producers often rely on wild yeast to jump into their fermentation tank and ferment their alcohol. And that's why the word wild with mezcal is so appropriate. Now, wild yeast is not easy to control. It's not easy to get it to do what you want it to do, but it does give you such rewarding flavors, which is why these products taste so good. Now this here is Crema de Mezcal made in San Luis del Rio, and 10% of what is in this glass is agave syrup, and so it's going to be a little sweeter. The product is bottled at 40% alcohol by volume, which is why I reserved it for the very end. I'm looking forward to something that's going to be a touch sweeter, maybe a touch more dessert-like. There is definitely a lot of honey inside of this glass, a rich honey aroma. Getting a little bit of that brine, but mostly honey in the glass with a little bit of lemony zest to it. Oh yeah, that honey just bursted open. And I'm getting honey, I'm getting a little bit of that fig that I was finding previously, a little bit of that raisiny, just an amazing product. The smoke is still there. The briny, zesty ash smoke is still there. And it's right where it needs to be. It's there. It's not overwhelming, it's not abundant, it's not even disturbing the flavor of the sweetness of the maguey, of the roasted agave, of the honey that I'm getting. It just wants to remind you that yes, it is a mezcal, and yes, in mezcal, there should be a little bit of smoke. An amazing product. So delicious. All right, time to make a cocktail. Let's go to the mixology table. So for the cocktail, I chose Vida Mezcal, and I wanted to take advantage of those earthy mineral notes that I was tasting. Now, when I'm making a mezcal drink, I always want to basically augment the flavor of the mezcal. I don't want to cover it or mask it. So this drink here is a stirred drink. And what I'm doing here is I'm basically, now that I've chilled my glassware and my beaker, I'm going to go ahead and add 1.5 ounces of Vida Mezcal. Why? Because I want that to be the most dominant flavor in the drink. And then to that, I'm going to add 3/4 of an ounce of Amaro Averna. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking that mineral, smoky, vegetal note, and I'm adding the citrus, orange, almond flavors of Amaro Averna. And last but not least, the exact same amount of Leger Cassis. And so to all of that, I am adding that bright, acidic, tart freshness of Creme de Cassis. And then I'm giving this a nice little stir. And after that, I am going to go ahead and strain it in this chilled Nicanora glass. Now, of course, that beautiful dark burgundy reddish color, I want to add a nice little green lime zest to it, both for its oils and for its color. And this bad boy is done. Yeah, and as I mentioned, this for me is a perfect example of a mezcal cocktail because I'm tasting the mezcal, I'm getting that briny, salty, wonderful salinity, a little bit of that smokiness that's coming from the mezcal. And then in addition to that, I am getting that candied orange, almond, marzipan-y flavor from the Amaro that is actually piled on top of this mezcal. And then last but not least, that really nice, fresh, bright, a little bit tart flavor from the Creme de Cassis. Now, if you got value from this video today, I would really be appreciated if you give us a like. And if you're not a subscriber, if you would subscribe to Master Glass with me, Livio Lauro, where you get expert instruction for everyday consumption.